Okay, so this is a video on my optimism, and it's sort of as it concerns sort of the direction the world is headed, specifically in areas of taking care of the poor and ending all forms of discrimination, including based on race, gender, and class. People have been surprised that I'm optimistic about these things because when we look around us, there are so many problems that are readily apparent. But I'm not optimistic because I have faith in human beings or any nonsense like that. I'm optimistic because of my cynicism, not in spite of it. Societies and cultures evolve in a way that is different than biological evolution, but which has an important characteristic in common. In each case, struggle for survival is a driving force, and competitiveness is a major component in the fitness of a culture or society. All societies, and on a larger scale systems of government, are at the mercy of the members of or citizens to some degree. Even dictatorships and monarchies had to listen to their people enough to avoid revolt, civil war, and revolution. With the recent popularity of democracy in various forms, we've seen how integrating the voice of the people with the structure of government has made for more successful government. As people are able to more easily change the course of their government, we see how governments can change without the destruction that often accompanies revolutions. I should pause here and make it clear that I do not think the state is a perfect representation of the voice of the people by any means. I think the direction taken by countries is dependent on a complex interaction that is actually pretty well described in this quote I read today. This is the quote. The 20th century has been characterized by three developments of great political importance: the growth of democracy, the growth of corporate power, and the growth of corporate propaganda as a means of protecting corporate power against democracy. And this is a quote by an Australian social scientist quoted by Noam Chomsky in World Orders Old and New. So, and the problem is that the populace can easily be subverted by propaganda and misinformation because the populace is stupid. I have no illusions there. My thinking is this, though. Countries compete in economic terms, largely because their populations want to live in better conditions. Even in cases where it isn't about the will of the populace, the nation itself may choose to increase freedom for its people in order to increase its own power. China is my favorite example of this happening, actually, in sort of more recent times here. China realized to be a player on the world stage, it needed the kind of development afforded by people who had opportunities and freedoms. China's government is still oppressive. It's still not a liberal place, or it still, sweeps a lot of things under the rug, including protesters. It's not real fond of dissent or anything like that. But compared to the Cultural Revolution, there's almost no comparison. China is a government that recognized that more power comes at the price of more education and real self-determination for its citizens. As humans become worth less and less as manual labor, the demand for educated people increases. Successful societies will be the ones that develop these human resources via education and opportunity. It will be the countries that best understand the process of transforming children into effective thinkers, not effective assemblers of cars or effective servers of coffee, that outcompete the rest. And effective thinkers must be free and self-determining if they are to be innovative. It is patents in the ideas that start companies that fuel economies in the Western world now more than anything. It is through education of more people than ever before that we fuel software development and technological innovation that results in real creation of wealth. The countries that will lead are those that are willing to educate and train its young minds without bias, so that it pulls from the largest possible pool of talent, looking for its scientists, its philosophers, and its political thinkers. The rest of the world, wanting the same prosperity, will follow suit, I think. I'm not arguing that poverty will disappear or that all the world problems will go away. or even that individuals will be happier. What I'm talking about are long statistical trends that will guide changes for populations, not individuals. Violence, both inter and intrastate, have declined sharply and consistently for more than 100 years. Personal freedoms have been on the rise. We do not treat other people better now than 100 years ago because human nature has changed. We do it because cooperation and peace have been the most effective means of creating wealth. So there you have my cynic's guide to optimism. I may make more in this series because there are a handful of issues that I see in kind of a similar way. The world gets better not because people are better, but because morality really is an incredibly effective evolutionary tool. It is in our best interest to do the right thing, and as self-interested bastards, we follow the incentives to a better world. So that's how I see things. That's why I think we're getting to a better place, and why we will continue to see the world become a better place. Anyway, hopefully, if nothing else, maybe it was at least thought-provoking, right? Thanks.